By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. I really like this phrase, and I believe it's very valid in our community as well, because when it comes to drone shots, you need to think about them, you need to prepare yourself, and you need to plan ahead if you want to get good results. So in today's video, I will share 5 tips on how you can prepare yourself and plan your shots before you even leave the house. So when it's time to start shooting and you're all set up, you will not waste any time and you will feel a lot more prepared. The first step that you need to take when you're planning for your next shoot is obviously to research the place where you're planning to shoot. Nowadays, with all of these rules, regulations, and no-fly zones pretty much everywhere around us, especially if you're flying a DJI drone, it's a great idea to start with checking out the DJI Fly Safe webpage, where you can see if the specific location that you have chosen is a no-fly zone or not. After making sure that you're okay to fly at your specific location, you might want to check out Google Earth or Google Maps just so you can see a satellite image of this location, how it looks from above. And I love scouting for new locations by using Google Maps. It's a great way to find something interesting because the satellite images are very similar to what you would be seeing from your drones, and you can also find new places by doing that. I love using Google Maps for finding new locations, new things that are interesting around my area, and I like to save these locations as my favorites, and that puts a little star on them. So when I see the map in my area, I can see these locations and maybe group them together and make a whole trip and combine them into one shoot altogether. Before we get to the next tip though, I want to quickly take the time to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community which offers thousands of classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, productivity, and more. Most classes are under 60 minutes with short lessons to fit any schedule, and taking a class can be a great way to help manage stress, practice mindfulness, and feel connected to one another, especially in the times that we're currently living in. I don't know about you, but I personally feel like learning is probably the best way to escape boredom. So that's why I decided to take the class of Thomas Frank, which was called Real Productivity: How to Build Habits That Last. In this class, I'm learning how to distribute my time between work and leisure, and as a creator working from home, I think it's extremely important to be able to divide your time and create healthy habits, not only for yourself but also for your family. So I can definitely highly recommend you this class, as I believe it's very useful, especially at the current situation. And luckily, the first 1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in my description are going to get 2 months for free of Skillshare Premium, so you can start exploring your creativity today. The next thing which I like to do when I'm preparing for my next drone shoot is to, of course, check out the local forecast. And not just the local forecast, but the hourly forecast, because when you're planning your shoot, you'll have a rough idea when you're going to that location, and you need to make sure that the forecast will be cooperating so you're not going to get surprised when you get to your destination. I have been in this situation so many times. I'm checking the weather and it seems like a lovely sunny day. Then I decide to head out and I get to my destination. Unfortunately, by the time I arrive at this destination, the forecast is completely different. The weather has changed, it's cloudy, it's overcast, it's not a good look for my footage, and you are stuck. So make sure you select a time frame when you are certain that the weather is going to be nice, that it's not going to ruin your footage. And the best time of the day for me is during sunrise or during sunset. Sunset is a lot more crowdier in specific locations, so I tend to not go and shoot during sunset. I prefer sunrise, as not many people like to get up early, myself included, but in some situations it's very much worth it. If the spot that you have chosen is close to you, so you don't have to travel to it for a couple of hours, it's a great idea to wake up early so you can avoid all the people that you will probably see during sunset, and you'll have the whole place for yourself with the best lighting possible. The next tip which I have for you is to always plan your angles before you even take off. And if you have seen a video of mine which I uploaded recently, it was about reacting to my first drone footage, you would have seen that one of the major mistakes which I did was to never plan anything, and I was always just looking around, looking for something interesting to film. That by itself is a huge mistake, not only because you're wasting your battery life in the air doing nothing, but also because you will just have to improvise. And improvising could work if you are good at what you're doing, but if you are not familiar with the location, you're not so good at flying drones yet, then improvising is not going to give you good results. Think about it like this. No producers are shooting movies without any script, right? So why would you shoot your drone shots without any preparation? You'll need to have a rough idea. I'm not saying to prepare a script or scenes or shot lists that is going to be a couple of pages long, but just figure out your ideas before you take off, so you'll be a bit more prepared. Speaking about flight time, batteries, etc., I have a little rule that I like to use when I fly my Mavic 2 Pro and all of my drones for that matter, and that is to divide my batteries. Let me give you a quick example. So let's just say I have 3 batteries in total for my drone. I am going to use 2 of these batteries for my videos to make sure that I have enough footage that I can use for the project which I have in mind, and then I'll use the final battery for taking photos. And before, I wasn't using this little division of my battery, so I never took any photos with my drones, and I always forgot to do that. So now I'm always using my last battery to take a few shots because I really want to develop my Instagram. I want to be able to share with you some really cool photos of the places where I've been, and you're always welcome to join me on Instagram, follow me, link is going to be in the description. But with that being said, that goes for any drone, and you don't really have to divide your batteries. Maybe you just have 1 battery, then you can still do the same technique by limiting your flight time. Maybe you can use 60% of your battery for filming videos and then use the rest of your battery for taking a few photos on your way back while getting the drone back to you. It's a good strategy in my opinion, especially for people who are not very organized and who are forgetting this little step. Maybe you want to take a few photos as well. It's a good strategy how to escape from that problem. And the last tip which I have for you is going to hugely contradict with everything I have said up until this point, but it's true. And that is to not take everything so seriously, and don't forget to have fun. Sometimes planning too much and preparing for an event too much is going to take away some or even all of the fun away from the whole shooting experience. And it's important to not forget to have fun, unless you're shooting for a client, that is, then be prepared and don't have fun. But if you're shooting for yourself, you have to be enjoying the whole process. You have to be excited about shooting with a drone because it's giving you such a different perspective. It's interesting, it's exciting, and it should not be stressful for you. So if you're not getting these epic movie looking shots straight away, don't get discouraged, don't get too stressed about it, because everyone starts from somewhere. It's important to not stress about it too much and not get discouraged and keep having fun. Just get back to it another day, start over, do it once again, and that will teach you a whole lot more than being too stressed about it. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope next time when you're planning to shoot with your drone, you will have these ideas in your mind and you will be a bit more prepared, but don't forget to have fun. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll see you in my next one very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Ciao.
I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win.